Have you ever loved someone with all your heart, pouring every ounce of your being into a connection you believed was unbreakable, only to watch that love shatter in a single, irreversible moment? It often starts with a loud fight, a sudden explosion after a slow burn of unspoken frustrations. It's a torrent of words you can never take back, each one a stone thrown that you can't unthrow, and the final echoing slam of a door that signifies an ending you weren't ready for. It can feel like waking up from the most beautiful dream into a cold, harsh reality. The silence that follows is deafening, filled with questions and what-ifs. Today, I want to talk about healthy and happy relationships and how they are built, not on perfection, but on emotional intelligence. It's the invisible architecture that holds a partnership together when the ground shakes. Many of us believe that love, pure and simple, is enough to conquer all obstacles. We're raised on stories where passion is the only ingredient needed. We think that if the feeling is strong enough, it will automatically shield a relationship from harm. But love alone, without the tools to navigate our own emotions and understand our partners, does not keep a partnership safe from the storms of life. How we handle stress, disappointment, fear, and conflict matters just as much, sometimes more. These are the moments that truly define the strength of a bond. This is where emotional intelligence becomes the silent, powerful guardian of our closest bonds. It's the ability to listen, not just to words, but to the feelings behind them. The truth is, love is a powerful starting point, but it's not the entire journey. It's the spark that lights the fire. It's the fuel. Emotional intelligence is the map, and the steering wheel that guides you through unfamiliar territory. Without the skills to manage our inner worlds, we are like captains sailing a ship in a hurricane without a compass. We get tossed about by the waves of anger, fear, and resentment, losing sight of the shore and each other. We react instead of responding. We blame instead of connecting. We create distance when what we truly crave is closeness. We build walls when we should be building bridges. But what if there was a way to learn how to steer through those storms, to read the emotional weather patterns before the hurricane hits? What if you could find calm in the chaos, and to emerge on the other side, not just intact, but stronger and more deeply connected than before? That is the promise of emotional intelligence. So, what exactly is this powerful force we call emotional intelligence? You've likely heard the term, but it's often misunderstood. It sounds complex, like something only psychologists can truly grasp. But at its core, it is beautifully simple and profoundly human. Think of it as being smart about your feelings, developing a fluency in the language of your own heart. It is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending you don't have them. That's emotional denial, and it only makes things worse. In fact, emotional intelligence is the complete opposite. It is about welcoming your feelings as valuable messengers, listening to what they have to say, and then choosing how you want to respond, rather than just reacting. It is the crucial difference between being at the mercy of your emotions, tossed around by every wave of feeling, and being the gentle guide of your own emotional state, navigating those waves with skill and grace. It is the inner strength that allows you to remain connected to yourself and your partner, creating a safe harbor even when everything feels like it is falling apart. To make this tangible, let's break it down into 4 simple, understandable ideas. First, it is about self-awareness. This is the foundation. This means you can recognize and name your own emotions as they arise. It's about tuning into your internal weather report. You can pause and say to yourself, "Okay, I am feeling angry right now," or "This knot in my stomach. This is fear I am experiencing." Just this simple act of naming the feeling can take away some of its overwhelming power, creating a small but crucial space between you and the emotion. Second, it involves self-regulation. Once you know what you're feeling, what do you do with it? This is about managing your emotional state. It's the ability to calm yourself down when you're upset, to cheer yourself up when you're down, and to pause before making impulsive choices you might later regret. It's your internal braking system. To understand how a lack of these skills can unravel even the deepest love, let us turn to the story of Maya and Alex. Theirs was a love that seemed destined for a storybook ending. They met during their university years in a crowded lecture hall. Their connection was immediate and profound. They shared the same quirky sense of humor, late-night conversations, and a shared vision for a future: adventure, family, mutual support. Their friends and family saw them as the perfect match. For years, their relationship blossomed. They navigated graduating, finding their first jobs, and building a life together. When Alex proposed on a quiet, starlit evening, it felt like the most natural step. Marriage was an affirmation of the life they were already building. They visited venues, tasted cakes, and debated invitation designs. It felt collaborative, a symbol of their partnership. Every decision felt like another brick in their foundation. But the initial joy was slowly overshadowed by an undercurrent of stress. Budgets, family opinions, and unexpected problems began to stack up. What once felt joyful became a source of tension, setting the stage for the storm to come. The transition from joyful planning to stressful execution was gradual. Their dream wedding cost more than expected, sparking tense money talks. Alex faced job uncertainty and feared starting on shaky ground. He kept it inside. Maya felt the weight of logistics. Most calls, emails, and decisions fell to her. She felt unseen and unappreciated, a preview of carrying the emotional load. Her fear leaked out as passive-aggressive comments. Well-meaning relatives pushed conflicting preferences. Each call left them more drained and resentful. Instead of uniting, they stopped communicating. A subtle fracture formed. Tired, irritable, and on a short fuse, their patience and humor ran low. The tiny gestures that bonded them became rare. They entered the most important week as two stressed individuals, walking on eggshells. The first significant crack, a late text about the marriage license and a brief tone. Already overwhelmed, she fired off a sharp message. Alex snapped back. Words became weapons. The exchange devolved. They ended with no resolution. It was swept under the rug, where it festered. They entered the final 24 hours, not as a united front, but as two wounded individuals. The day before the wedding arrived, heavy with unspoken tension. An innocent question struck a raw nerve. He deflected sharply, implying she was pressuring him about money. She heard it as a public betrayal. Her response was immediate and explosive. The fight became about everything left unsaid for weeks. There was no self-regulation, no breathing, no listening. They were flooded, trapped in blame and retaliation. In minutes, love was eclipsed by rage and pain. In the devastating aftermath, the wedding was called off. It would be easy to point fingers, but blame is a dead end. Not because there was no love, but because emotions were louder than emotional intelligence. To truly learn, we must look deeper, at the mechanics of what went wrong. They lacked self-awareness. Fear drove behavior, his fear of financial failure, her fear of emotional abandonment. Anger was the visible tip. Fear, hurt, and insecurity were hidden beneath. They had no strategy to pause or breathe, so fight or flight took over. They abandoned empathy and repair, speaking at each other, trying to win. Without repairing the earlier fight, they had no recent template for resolution. The relationship had become repair poor. At a moment of extreme pressure, a breakdown of emotional intelligence, not a lack of love, caused the collapse. The story of Maya and Alex is painful, but its value lies in its lessons. It teaches us that love isn't just a feeling, it's a skill that can be learned and practiced. These skills are practical, like emotional first aid. The goal is to treat small wounds before they become life-threatening to the relationship. Tool 1. The pause. When a strong emotion like anger or fear rises, stop. Notice the physical sensation. Name your feeling internally. Then take 3 slow, deliberate breaths. This creates a crucial gap between impulse and reaction. Tool 2. Use I statements. Avoid the blame inherent in you always and you never. Instead, own your experience. Say, I feel hurt when tasks pile up. It makes me feel alone. Or, I feel scared when we talk about money because I'm worried about my job. Tool 3 is validation. When your partner shares an I statement, your job isn't to fix it or defend yourself. It's to listen and show you understand. A simple, that makes sense, or I can see why you'd feel that way, is incredibly powerful. And if the conversation gets too heated, have an agreed timeout. I'm getting flooded. I need a break. Promise to return. During the break, don't rehearse arguments. Soothe your body and calm your nervous system. Now imagine the same moment, this time with skills.
He says, "Can we talk for a minute? I'm feeling really stressed out by all this."
She pauses, listens, and agrees. He admits, I'm scared I'll let you down. She shares, I'm afraid I'm alone in this. They repair connection. Healthy relationships aren't conflict-free, they're repair-rich. The measure of a relationship's strength isn't the absence of conflict, but the speed and sincerity of repair, mending small tears before they become rips. To make this practical, try a weekly check-in. Set aside 20 minutes to ask each other, what went well between us this week? What was challenging? This creates a dedicated space for maintenance, preventing issues from festering. Tiny, consistent shifts can completely change the tone of your interactions. Love combined with skill is truly unstoppable. So remember, pause, breathe, listen, and always try to speak with kindness. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to let it sink in. We invite you to support our channel by liking this video and subscribing. And we'd love to hear from you. What's one small skill you plan to practice this week? Share your thoughts in the comments. Healing, growth, and healthy love are possible for all of us, and it starts with emotional awareness.